Hey folks, welcome back to 3 Zen. Bobo's here. So in the front cockpit of the T-38, on the left side, a lower sub panel, are two red guarded switches for the fuel shutoff switches. And they were intended, I think, to shut off fuel to an engine in case your throttle didn't work. That's how we shut the engines off, just lift up a gate and retard the throttle to shut off. In case that didn't work, now I'd never heard of anything of the sort. We had these fuel shutoff switches, and they do the same thing. I never had an occasion to even think about them, much less use them. At any rate, they were sitting up there. Now, there was a rumor that went around that if you ever were in flight and you took one of those fuel shutoff switches and you closed it, that the pressure demand would crimp the lines and you may not get the engine restarted because the lines would crimp. I think that was an urban legend, if you will. I don't think it was true. At any rate, that's the systems knowledge you need to know for this story. So there was this guy out flying one time from down at Laughlin, and from reports, he was a little bit of a hothead, I suppose, in those days, you know, and I don't think he was real patient with all of his students. I think that's the best way I can put it. And there's this one student that didn't like him too good very much at all. And the student one day just got pissed off at him. And as they were flying along, both engines just quit. Probably 10, 12,000 feet is from the best I remember. And so they're going through the restart procedures. Our restart envelope was 240 knots plus gas. 1 knot for every 100 pounds of fuel you had on board. So anyway, they're up there and they go through the restart. Now the first thing you do is just bring the throttles back to idle position, hit the start buttons, and pick up your air start airspeed, and hopefully the thing will light off. Didn't work. The next thing you can do is you can take the throttles and go into AB, and that has a 30-second ignition circuit built into it. That didn't work. So they're going downhill all this time. The T-38 had a glide ratio of a brick. So they're going downhill and they're going through the engine restart. Nothing's working, just not working. And our controlled bailout altitude was 10,000 feet under normal circumstances. Well, they're controlled down around 5,000 or 7,000 feet. They're heading downhill. And engines still don't restart. So finally it becomes inevitable, and the IP commanded bailout. Now in a 38 and a controlled bailout, the IP bails out first. So he jumps out, and next thing he knows, the T-38's still out there flying around. Guy's still in the front seat, and it's flying around. Student got 1 relit. I don't know if he got 2, but I do know he got 1 relit. And he flew back to Laughlin and landed. Now the feeling is that this guy hated the IP, and he shut the engines down with the fuel shutoff switches. I can't tell you if it's true or not. I think it is. And the reason I think it is, that IP and I, later years, became pretty good friends. We flew together a little bit. And I was over at his house one afternoon, and he told me about bailing out where a student had flown back and landed the damn airplane at Laughlin. And I know the guy, and I know he could be a little bit hot-headed if he was provoked. And he pulled out the newspaper article that had the description in it. Oh, Jesus. Now, I'd heard that story all through my Air Training Command IP tour. And now I met the guy. It cracked me up. At any rate, if you're listening to this video and you happen to have some more details about it, please feel free to reach out to me in the comments section and enlighten me one way or the other if I'm not totally correct, but I think I am. I think he said they wanted to give the student a medal for saving the airplane and kick his butt for not obeying an order to bail out. So they were really perplexed on what really to do. At any rate, if you know anything more about this story, please feel free to enlighten me. Otherwise, I think I'm pretty spot on it. With that being said, thanks for stopping in, and we'll talk to you again soon.